Hey, it's Dr. Brenda, founder of the Gutsy Women Club, where women dare to dream and take bold actions to follow their heart's journey. Hey, please subscribe below. Coming at you on this a little brisk but sunny day in Southern California. I've got roses blooming behind me. What a great place to pause and do this video and chat. And today what I want to talk about are triggers. And when you're traveling, as I am, a full-time RVer, I'm going to different places, different locations, seeing different things. And in the last couple of weeks, I've had a couple of triggers that have transported me to a place where I didn't want to be. So the first of these was I was in the Grand Canyon and I took my kids shopping in Flagstaff. I lived in Flagstaff. It was probably for less than a year, but it transported me to a time when I was 30 years old. I just earned my PhD. I'd had a job at the University of California. All the state budgets got clobbered, and so I lost my job. Last hired, first fired, first to go. So I was still naive and optimistic, and I'd had my PhD. My dissertation was being published as a book, so I was doing all the right things, and I was confident I was going to get a job offer any moment. Somebody's going to contact me and say, okay, we'd like you to join our faculty at the University of fill in the blank. So when that didn't happen, I decided to leave California. I'm like, okay, this is a really expensive state. If I'm going to be unemployed, maybe I can be unemployed elsewhere. And I had been to Arizona, to the Flagstaff area just a little bit, and I really liked the area. So I thought, okay, I'm going to pick up. All I had at this point was a motorcycle. So I don't even remember how I got things there. I probably discarded most things and might have been able to mail some things, but I don't remember how I drove through the desert. I remember hitting Las Vegas area. My headlights went out. I had somebody escort me into town. It was a tough drive. And in Flagstaff, I really didn't know what I was doing, honestly. I'd had enough money saved up. I'd pulled out the whatever little I had in the retirement funds. Yeah, shouldn't have done that, but I wasn't there too long, so still shouldn't have done it. But I needed it to live for that next year, so I knew I had rent covered, and I decided to start a little mail order business, because how hard can it be, right? Well, this was a long time ago, it never worked. But anyway, being back in Flagstaff now, that experience back when I was 30 touched off a 3.5-year period where I was working. I worked as adjunct faculty without benefits for a while. I picked up part-time work. I picked up whatever work I could. I worked at Target for minimum wage. I moved. I had started in California, then moved to Flagstaff, Arizona, then Green Bay, Wisconsin, and then finally Atlanta, Georgia. So in all that time, I didn't have any benefits, and I didn't have a full-time salary. So going back to Flagstaff was a trigger to a time when I was so stinking poor. And you can't go back in time. All of what I did led me to where I am today. So that's cool. I understand that. But it was still a trigger I lived in a city. I don't know anybody in Flagstaff. I had a cousin there, but I don't have any friends in Flagstaff. I never made any friends in Flagstaff. So it's like, that was not the best decision to leave the support I had in California, come out here, and then not really, still struggle with the financial piece of it. So that was a trigger. But I'm coming back, financially free. So all these years later, now it's like, I did pretty damn good considering where I started from. The other trigger is my blasted Jeep. Okay, so I tow a Jeep Cherokee. I'm not all that crazy about Jeeps, but my Honda didn't tow. Give me a Honda any day. Oh yeah. but it didn't tow, so I traded it in. Jeep is easy to tow, and I've just spent over $1,600 getting the thing fixed. I've had it for just over a year, um, and that put me back into Atlanta when my car broke down, and I took it to get it fixed, and the guy wouldn't take a credit card. And it's like, I don't have that money in the bank. I don't have cash. I can't do it. The only way I can get this fixed is with a credit card. And I had lived in kind of underground, a basement of a friend's sister, so didn't even really have an address there. And so seeing that car bill, and it was a similar issue where the blower motor for the heater and heat and air AC had gone out, and I needed a new blower motor, and then I had oil and leaks and all this stuff that needed to be done. And my first thought was, oh my God, I can't afford this. This is awful. This is just too much. So it brought me back to a time when it was too much. I mean, I have to constantly fight the battle in my head, knowing that I am not that same impoverished person. I've done pretty well. I have a nice cushion behind me. This is not going to break me. So as you travel out there, there may be triggers that arise. And honestly, all of the people I've met, all of the things I've done, all of the decisions I've made led me to where I am right here. I mean, it's been an incredibly successful career. I am finding myself out on the road. I am growing. I am improving. I am, so excited to have the Gutsy Women Club and to be able to have this community where we inspire one another. So, all this stuff happens for a reason, but watch out for those triggers. It can kind of spiral you back into a dark time, a sad time, and you got to spiral yourself back up. For me, being in nature does that. So if I can go out for a long walk, a hike, even sit among the roses and the flowers and take in this beautiful scene, that helps me a lot. So, okay, that's my story about triggers. So if you have any triggers that you've run into, I would love for you to comment and tell me about what happened and how you address that trigger now. So, all right, you take care on the road. See you later.